Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we reorganized everything into what we're calling the Messy Theater, and it will continue to be messy. We're going to have new theaters that start to pop up, and I'm thinking a good one would probably be an Anatolian theater, but we probably don't have the troops for that right now. I think we'll just have to actually... There are a lot of troops available. Okay, I'm just going to go through and deploy all of these immediately. Is there a button that we can press up here to just instantly deploy all? Yes. Okay, we're just going to do that. That's excellent. And there's 76 of these. Okay, so that's rather a lot. We're going to create a new army here. And yes, there's 76 of them. We're going to move that into a new theater. And I'm going to call this the Organized Theater. Excellent. So this theater is going to need to have a commander, and we're going to need to have a couple commanders, but we're going to have to steal them, I think, from other locations. Actually, no, this is perfect. We've got some field marshals here. I'm going to put this guy in. He's not necessarily ideal for that, but this is going to be an army group here, and we need to assign in a field marshal here. So this guy will do just fine there. Now,
come on.
I want to split this in half, and then half again, and then we're going to make that into a new army. Then I'm going to split this in half, and we're going to make that into a new army. Then we're going to grab a couple of these. That's going to be 4, and then 1 here. There we go. And then we've got 4 too many here at this time. Okay, so that's fine. Let's just get these guys out. And where do we want to put them? Well, I'm going to put them here, although they need to be in a new army, and then these guys need to be assigned here as part of this army group. And this is going to be the Overflow Theater for now. It's not an actual theater. We're just pretending it's a theater. So now what we're going to do is we're going to need to assign a commander here, and I think we have one, but I don't think we have a commander for the other army at this time. That's fine. For the time being, that is A-okay. What we need now is we need a significant number of tanks. 48 of them would be ideal. And as of right now, it's going to be a little bit before those are ready. But I want to send these guys over immediately to frontline right here. So over they go, and they're going to stop this push. They're probably going to want to push this up, so we're going to want to offensive line something kind of like this, all the way up to Istanbul, but not necessarily in Istanbul. But for now, we just want to get there. So we're just going to start cleaning up some of these fronts like this. But it will take time. So that's understood, and we're going to get some of these army groups, which are going to be fairly standardized. I'm thinking 3 units of infantry, and then 2 units of armor in all cases here. For now, anyway. So there's definitely a number of places that we need to do that. And for now, I want to check in over here. Okay, so this is still making some amount of progress anyway. We're working on that. In Muscat, it's being worked on slowly. Down over here, how are things going? Well, it definitely needs work. There's no doubt about that one. Okay, have we managed to build our port down over here? The answer is no. We're about half done with it. And I would very much like to push in over here. But I don't think we're going to be able to, for now anyway. So we'll see about pushing these guys back. This might get stack wiped down here. That's fine. If anything in the Messy Theater gets stack wiped, I'm not going to be too awfully concerned about it for right now. So there will be things getting stack wiped in the Messy Theater, to be clear. That's absolutely understood. The Organized Theater is, at this time, what we really care about. So we're going to get these guys up to this front, and we're going to start pushing our way up. The idea here is that this is going to kind of morph into our Asian front out over this direction, but I'd like to just get the Socialist Republic of Romania completely taken down. But they're still trying to deal with these guys in here, hilariously. For now, it's okay. For now, it's fine. We need to get some of these completed. Ah, the People's Republic of Kenya just capitulated. So that should be an army somewhere. But where? It's a little hard to see in the messy theater here. So the People's Republic of Kenya is this down over here. That'll be these guys. Okay. That's noted. That front is going to remain messy for the time being, it looks like. For right now, that's fine. It's not the biggest of deals in the world. It's not amazing, but it'll do. So let's come in over here, and they're currently attacking here. We're currently winning that attack. Okay. So that sounds good. I would like to push into Mogadishu as soon as this autosave is over. I want these guys to come in and attack right here. I just want to continue to push in over this direction. I would love it if we would get the port down over here built, but I'm not counting on that. It's probably not going to happen. Okay, so at this point, I want to come in here and I want to delete this segment of the order. So we should make sure that this army is fully assigned here. And then this army should also be fully assigned here. Okay. It just got a little awkward over here. We're not surprised about that. That tends to happen. So for the time being, that's okay. I would love to get some of these forces freed up, but as of right now, it's spicy. No doubt about it. Europe is still our biggest problem by far, and we will get there, but we need to set up a line of defense, and that's exactly what we're looking to do right now. So out over here, did our offensive attack go away? It did. That was part of this. Okay, that's a little awkward. Okay, so we're beginning to arrive to hold this line. And we can just go ahead and delete this for now. Okay. This line may get cut off up over here. That's fine. If it does, we'll see. I'd like to maintain our control over Samson, though. That would be ideal. We do have a unit almost over there, so that seems relatively fine. We can start to get some supplies going through out over here, and that all seems relatively okay for now. Okay, so we're beginning to get troops out over here. Now what we need to do is we need to check to see how we're doing on tanks. Okay, we've got some. So I'm just going to deploy all lines instantly, and all of these... Oh, I didn't... We need to also deploy the tank lines. That would help. Okay, there we go. Now that those are deployed, that's 76 additional divisions. I'm going to put all of those into our overflow theater for the moment. But we need to grab some tank units. I'm going to grab half of these and then slightly under half of those. And we're going to make that into a new army, and that's going to hop up over into the organized theater over here. Now, the idea here is that these are going to fully frontline out over here across the entire border. Ish. For now, that'll do. So we'll get them heading over, but we still have enough to get another unit going. So we need to grab these modern tank brigades. I'm going to deselect 4 of them, and we're going to make a new army, and that army is going to head up over here. That is also going to be frontlining across this entire front. Kind of like that. Okay. Now, it looks like we're going to hold in Samson. That's good. We may not hold in Sinop. That's fine. I'm not terribly concerned about that. So our forces are beginning to arrive here. We've got real, actual armies coming up over here now. That is a very, very good sign. And then we're, of course, going to re-up our offensive line out over this direction, which is just going to be to push up to, like, here. That's fine. I'm not going to tell them to do this yet. That's a key thing here. So for now, that seems fine. How are things looking down over here? Well, we've not quite managed to get this port done, but that is almost finished. And it's done. We now have supplies flowing over here in theory. Okay, so that looks good. I would love to attack into Mogadishu here, like this. And we're about to get this connection over here. So we're buying some time here by attacking Mogadishu. We're making sure that these guys are tied down. Up over this direction, things are looking reasonable. Up over here, things are looking reasonable as well. How are things up over this way? Well, these guys out over here, they don't necessarily... Actually, they are supposed to be in a location, but they don't know how to get there. Fair enough. For the time being, that's fine. Okay, so our tanks are going to be arriving up at this front line soon enough, but we are now defending here. And the question is, do we feel like we can launch an attack with our infantry only? Well, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. So for the time being, the messy theater is going to get wiped out up over here. That's absolutely understood. And yeah, we are hammering through our manpower right now. I get that. That is absolutely a thing, but we only need so many of these armies, right? And the number that we need is actually relatively small. I want to have one army here to push into Africa. I want to have one army here to push into South America, and then to maybe deal with this once that's all taken care of. One out over here and one out over here, so this is going to be split into like 2 fronts, essentially. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4-ish armies here, and we've already got 1 recruited. So that is looking fine. So our tanks are going to make their way on up, and we're recruiting extraordinarily heavily right now. We're going to be cutting down on our recruitment eventually, or at least not deploying them early. For right now, we do have some that can be deployed. I'm going to go ahead and do so. We're still interested in deploying early when possible at this time. Iranian attempts to sabotage the Suez. Okay, so we've got these guys out over here. This is exactly 1 army's worth. So I'm just going to make that into an army, but we're going to stick that in the overflow theater for right now. So that seems okay. Now, as the messy theater has units get wiped, we should have leaders come available. Or as it gets repurposed for other things, in theory. Now we're doing reasonably well out over here, like surprisingly so, but Europe not so much. That's understood. Our tanks are beginning to arrive at this front now. So I'm going to go ahead and order these guys to commence their attack. We're going to keep it on a balanced manner. And we're going to start trying to push in here. Now our tanks aren't very organized. They just arrived. So it's going to take them a little while to get to the point where they can really start to do things. But we're just going to start pushing out over here, and we've got a proper defensive line as well. So that should be reasonably good. Now, we definitely need to get a European defensive line set up here, and I'm thinking we're going to have a fallback line, possibly somewhere around here or so. It's a long fallback line, for sure. But we're probably going to do something like that and try to pull some of these guys back to that fallback line to get ourselves a more coherent front. This is a very incoherent front at this point, and that's currently what I'm thinking. So if we were to do that, let's move an additional unit out over here, and I'd like to have a new army group for this. So this is going to be a unit of tanks, and then this is all infantry here. So we can take that down to 24. And then that's going to be a new army, and that's going to go in here. And then we can try to loot some units out of here. So that would be like this army here. This is a mixed tank and infantry army. So we can just move that over here. And this is going to then be a fallback line. Where's the fallback line button? This. Okay, so it would be a fallback line that would go not quite like that. All the way down to Rostov, and then it would go all the way up, like all the way up to Archangel, something like that. So that would be the fallback line there, and we want to reorganize this army for sure. We've got 13 tanks there. So I'm going to put those into a new army, and that's going to go in here. So we've got an infantry army, we've got 2 tank armies, and then this is going to be an infantry army, but it's not quite there yet. We've also got this infantry 1944C that should probably just be disbanded, to be honest. So we'll do that for now. And then we need to be harvesting some forces out of here, right? So, High Consul. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, these are all tanks. Do we need additional tanks here? Well, kind of. And they should be assigned to this fallback line. So these tanks here, we're going to need to harvest like 11 of them. So these are going to go over to here. No, over to here. There we go. And then the rest of these, we want an infantry army here, but the rest of these I'm going to assign over to the overflow theater out over here. And the overflow theater is going to be told to just area defend right over here at like all times. That's just all it's going to be doing. So we're going to be falling back to this fallback line here. We do need to harvest some additional forces. So these are tanks out over here. So we do have a couple of military districts here. So I want to move those into here. There we go. And we're going to overall need something. We need infantry here. We need an additional unit of infantry. So all of these guys, for the moment, I'm going to move into our overflow theater, and that'll be unassigned. So they're going to just pull back, and that seems good. We've got some infantry down over here. That's part of Army 17. Okay. I want to pull back basically any armies that currently exist in Europe. We're going to need to defend down over here. So these guys are part of that army at this point. So are these. Sure. I'm assuming they'll find a way to their location, or to their destination, rather, but that's fine. For now, I'm going to abandon this area, I think. We'll not maybe abandon these, necessarily. Unit's organization is too low to advance over here. Not entirely sure why their organization is low. But okay. So for now, that seems reasonably fine. So, up over here, we do have some forces here. So we've got this army here, and this is... I want to select just everything here. Okay. So these infantry, we can move into a new army, which we're going to do. And that army is going to be assigned down over here, like that. They're going to then get assigned to the fallback line, and they'll try to make their way back. We'll see how successful they are at making their way back. So, I want to find orders out here. So we've got these guys here. That's going to be problematic for them, I'm sure. We'll just delete that order. This division shouldn't even be here. So these guys, they're going to have a hard time getting out. They might get stack wiped. That's understood. We will replace units in here as we need to. So, next up, I want to grab this army here. And this is Army 29. So this is 15 infantry units. I'm going to put them into this army. That's a little much as of right now. I want them assigned to this fallback line. And we're going to grab 3 of these and move them here. Okay. These aren't perfect, but it's fine for now. Okay, so we've got this cut off. This we're not caring about necessarily as of right now. And as far as any fronts over here go, these guys are going to get stack wiped, and we should not worry about them. So that's understood. There's not too much to be done there. These guys, they are also going to get stack wiped. There's nothing that they can do. These, on the other hand, I think they can get out of there. So this is mostly infantry and marines. I'm going to move them into the overflow theater. There we go. What about these? We've got a lot of infantry down over here. Okay, so we can grab 2 of these. They're going to go here, and that finishes off that one. The rest of these I'm going to put into our overflow theater for now, and we're just going to delete this order. Okay, now then, down over here, I'm going to make all of these be part of our overflow. And we'll see what all is in our overflow once we get this fallback completed. So all of those are going to go to the overflow. They're going to pull back. All of these are going to go to the overflow as well. They're going to pull back. Okay. And then we've got 2 divisions over here. They're also going to go to the overflow. So they should be able to get out of there, right? Actually, Calais doesn't have a port, does it? Well, they might not be able to. That's okay. So these guys out over here, I would definitely like to get them over to the overflow. So I just want to select everything here, head to the overflow. Okay. Now then, these guys out over here, same thing. We're just moving them to overflow for now. We're abandoning this region and setting up a defensive line here, and then we'll see what we're going to do from there. That's the idea here. So, these guys, they're just stuck. Nothing that they can do. There's no one assigned here, so let's go ahead and delete this order so that doesn't distract me. No one assigned here either. Okay. And we have no one assigned up over here. So that seems reasonably fine. Okay, now what do we have in our overflow divisions here? We have 42 units of tank. I'm going to divide this in half, and we're going to make that into a tank army, but it's a partial tank army. And then we're going to make a second partial tank army. And then let's grab some infantry here. This is 50. Okay, we'll do that, and we'll make an army. And then we'll see what else we have here. We've got 26 military districts here, so we'll just deselect 2. We'll make that into an army. Looks good. Okay, now back over this direction, we've got these military districts. We've got these infantry that I'm just going to disband. And then we've got, what else? This is an infantry brigade. I'm going to disband that one. It's currently encircled, but we'll actually regain 20% of its manpower. That's a bit remarkable. Okay, let's get rid of these mountaineers for now. And let's get rid of these infantry as well. We're keeping around the Marines and the military districts. Okay, something like that. So these guys, they're all going to get moved into the organized theater, and this is going to be a new army group here. And we might split these out into different theaters just to be a little bit more accurate here. To be honest, I think we probably should. So we're going to call this one the Anatolian Theater. And then we're going to move this unit into a new theater, and this is going to be these are the guys that are assigned up over here, I believe. Yes. This is going to be the... we're just going to call this the European Theater for right now. And then these guys, what's the plan for them? Well, they're going to be our South American Theater. Oh, wow, we broke through over here. I'm stunned. Okay, so since we broke through over here, I'm just going to call this the American Theater, like that. And then I'm going to have these guys come over to Mexico, and I would like them to frontline here. So we're going to do this, and we do want to have an additional group of forces here. So what do we have over here? Anything available to be deployed? That is a negative at this time. Okay, I'm not shocked about that. So this breakthrough over here is a pretty big deal, actually. So we've got this army here, which I believe is assigned here, or perhaps here. And I want them to just get in here. Like, get this taken care of. Everyone assigned here, just get in here. These guys up here, I'd love to see them attack here, and let's see what happens if we launch an attack right out over here. We're just tying these up for now, but yeah, this looks good. These guys are pocketed, and they're going to get wiped out. So that's going to allow us to get forces redeployed out over here, and that's a pretty big deal. That is a very big deal, actually. So as far as all this goes, we'll see who all makes it to the fallback line. That should be real interesting. The European Theater may well take some losses, and we're giving up a lot of land to do this. That's completely understood. We'll push back in once we're more organized. That's the idea here. So, with that in mind, the Anatolian Theater has started, and we're starting to push them back over here, as we can see. So that's looking good. We've made a breakthrough, remarkably, in South America against all of the odds, and that's absolutely huge. We are very, very happy to see that happening. So at this point, these guys are probably going to start forming into another army group eventually, but for now, this will have to do. We're going to have to clean up the messy theater eventually, but for now, we'll see what ends up happening here. Our forces are on their way to the fallback line. So we're just going to set up a defensive line here. And one thing we could definitely do is we could line this defensive line with land forts to make it a lot more annoying for them to try to break through this, and once we push out, to give us another fallback line. So that's definitely something that I'm interested in doing. Let's get this built up over here. It is, however, about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue getting organized and starting to take this war seriously. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.